In today's big book of Virginia ghost stories, we're heading to the Shenandoah Valley. And we're going to read The Man in Gray at Waverly. And this is part of a series of Galaxy of Gambling Ghosts. Waverly, about 5 miles from Winchester, is a house that was built circa 1734. The first owner was Alexander Ross, a prominent Quaker Scotsman, and it was later sold to a grandnephew of George Washington. As with most old mansions in this area, Waverly saw its share of action during the Civil War, when Winchester changed hands dozens of times. The house still has the scars and some specters to prove it. One of the family portraits that hung there at the time was punctured by a Yankee bullet, and the home has been visited on occasion by the ghost of a man in gray, who some believe was a Confederate officer. He was first reported by a woman named Lily Joliffe, a neighbor who told of observing his manifestations while spending the night in the house. In the guest room over the parlor, she bolted her door and retired one evening. A little later, she was awakened by footsteps coming down the hall. Thinking it was her hostess, she called out, "Wait, I'll let you in." But before she could get out of bed, the door opened, and a man in gray walked in and went over to a window and looked out. He then turned, came to the foot of the bed, glared at the startled Miss Joliffe for several minutes, and stalked out of the room, bolting the door behind him. The lady was considerably upset. The next day she told her father about it, and he told her one better. Some years earlier, he used to play cards in the mansion with 3 other gentlemen. One night, as they played in the room over the parlor by candlelight, the door opened, and the same mysterious man in gray entered. He apparently had a dislike for gambling, because he strode straight up to the table and blew out all the candles. The 4 astonished card players scrambled in the darkness for the exit. This particular spirit was seen by a number of people. One former resident, Mrs. Dabney Harrison, later told Mrs. Joliffe that she had seen the man several times, always in the same room. She remembered one occasion when her dog trembled all over and leaped in the bed beside her. As she roused, there was the man standing at the foot of her bed. She also recalled the time when the hall clock, which had been broken for a number of years, suddenly struck one night 79 times. Shortly thereafter, her grandfather, who had been in fine health, died unexpectedly. He was 79 years old. Linda McCarty, a staff writer for the Winchester Star, did some research on the ghost at Waverly. She discovered that a Colonel Charles Blacknell of North Carolina was wounded in the Battle of 3rd Winchester. He was shot in the right foot, the ball shattering several small bones. He was moved to Waverly to recuperate. There, his leg was amputated, and he seemed to be recovering, but he died a few days later. "Is the man in gray the young colonel?" McCarty asked in an article she wrote. "Is he desperately searching for a way to get home, a way to see his wife and children again? If it is his spirit, one might also wonder why he has been seen over the years walking across the room above the parlor in the house, staring at whoever is in the bed. Is that the room in which he died? And finally, was he a strictly religious man who could not tolerate card playing? If so, then the mystery would be solved." The Man in Gray at Waverly.